What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me again. Got a couple flatbed loads, of course, pulling the flat. It's a 48-foot flat. We went from Florida to Texas, and then Texas up to Nevada in this run. Had a late start to a week, so we'll actually talk about financials in this one, which I don't normally do. You know, some people go over their weekly recap. This was a short week because I unloaded in Florida Monday. And then I had to take care of tires on the trailer as well as a pinion seal on the truck. So we didn't get reloaded till Wednesday in Florida, unloaded Thursday in Texas, boogied through 940 miles, bumped that off inside Dallas, and then headed out to Scottsville, Texas, and took a load up to Nevada, Fernley, Nevada. So in a Wednesday to Monday, we're going to talk about financials on that one. I was able to kind of recover a decently gross week for a short amount of time. So here's the videos and I'll talk about it in the video. All right, we're here in Sanderson, Florida. Hello, Kona Bean. Loading up with these reels of some sort of wire. I did an X strap up front and then single. Well, first I laid the singles all down them, right? And they're all butted up and touching. So you have the single straight over underneath, and then I do an X strap. Remember, when you do an X strap, you want the hook at the lowest point, and then that way, let me just climb up and show you, because I know I've said this before. All right. The hook is at the lowest point, and then it comes up and over. That way, when you cinch down, it's cinching down nice and tight. And then single straps all across. So this is some sort of wire. Let me hop down over yonder. This bag's ripped, so we can kind of see. That's the product. It's some like thin wire of some sort. I do, let's see. ASTM 38-inch reel. I'm going to assume it's steel because it's from InSteel. And if you've never been here, or maybe you have been here, there's also like Sanderson pipe, like right down the road. But anyway, we're taking 16 of these reels. It's got us like 45,000 pounds on the deck. It is Wednesday. I delivered a couple of those Kubota loads on Friday, and then had to sit over the weekend at 595 truck stop just outside Miami. Freaking $32 to park a night. It is what it is, right? But anyway, it's because all the locals, they don't support that truck stop and go eat there or shop there. They pull in, they park for the weekend, go home, and then come back. It sucks because I fueled up 110 gallons, but free parking is 150. I've never pumped 150. I don't hold that much fuel, which sucks. But anyway, after the weekend, we delivered Monday, the rest of the Kubota stuff. Monday, we got tires. I had a gash in one of my rear tires on the inside. So I got some Continentals on the rear. I've heard really good things about Continentals. I believe Rittenauer on their new trailers are putting Continentals. I've just heard for a spread axle that they hold up really well. So I'm running these Continentals. They are HT3 Acopia Plus, okay? Low Pro 22.5s. Still have some Firestones on the front. I'm gonna wear this front axle out as much as I can, because these were at like 11-30 seconds. But anyway, we got the rear tires, and we also had a pinion seal leak, excuse me. If you don't know what a pinion seal is, and excuse the dirty truck, I have to get it washed. The pinion seal is right, okay, so this is your drive line, right? And then in there is a universal joint. Okay, that's what articulates. And then you have the yoke. The yoke is the big piece that hooks onto the front of the differential that attaches to the universal joint that attaches to the driveline. In there, there's a big ass yoke nut. That thing's like, I don't know, 1.5 inches probably. But you remove the yoke nut, you remove the yoke, and then behind it is a pinion seal. That was leaking, causing a little mess. You can kind of see a mess here. So we got that replaced, but they couldn't finish that till Tuesday morning, which sucks. So they finished that. We got out of there, but we did not have enough time to get loaded. So this is the load. The reels, I'm taking this to Grand Prairie and unfortunately I have to tarp it. So I'm gonna secure all these straps, we'll tighten them down, and then hit the road. Also, side note, with the X straps, I do the straight across ones first, and then I throw the X strap over. That's kind of common sense because this straight across strap is underneath everything. Tighten that one first, okay? And then snug the X straps after that. But yep, I'll tarp this after I winch these down, and then I will show you the load. One more time, I guess. All right, we're all tarped up, so there you go. I bought some paracord, and I have time, but I got nervous. I was like, I ain't never done paracord before. I'm just gonna stick with my bungees. So they're all snug and tight, and everything's all wrapped up under one tarp, which is always sweet. Not the prettiest looking back end, but that's why we got the bumper stickers to distract you. Bestie, please let me merge. We are 45,000 pounds on the deck. There it is, tarped. I think I already filmed this. Oh, my Kona bean. But anyway, we walked her, used the restroom, grabbed the paperwork, and time to hit it. Just double check everything. One more walk around never hurts, so. All right. Can't wait to get Continentals on the front so they match. I hate being a goober and having like mismatched tires. I got Bridgestones on the front. I'm a fan of Bridgestones, but I want to see how these Continentals do. All right, and we'll catch you down the road. Well, when I was out of the truck, Kona got bored and she grabbed my little mileage book off my seat and decided to make a chew toy out of it. And then gives me the look like, oh, I didn't do nothing. Well, the truck is filthy. You can see some bugs on the windshield. I don't even want to show you the freaking fenders. Hell, here, look at the bugs on the back of that mirror. Just, she's coated. It has been too long, unfortunately, since I've gotten a truck wash. But we got unloaded this morning. You can see the trailer there. Unloaded those reels, and then we're heading out to Scottsville, Texas to load up tomorrow and take something to Fernley, Nevada. First load picked up on Wednesday, and originally it was scheduled to deliver Friday, but I just pushed through. So it picked up Wednesday in Sanderson, Florida, went 930 miles to Grand Prairie, Texas. That load paid $2,600, which works out to $2.80 a mile. I don't know how I get lucky coming out of Florida, but the last 3 times I've come out of Florida, that was actually my lowest rate. I think I've done 280, 289, and then like right at 301 a mile. So super lucky on that. And these aren't short runs that I'm doing out of Florida. I mean, I went from Florida to Texas, Florida to Laredo on one. That was like $3 a mile. Florida to Grand Prairie, that was 280 a mile. And then Florida to Omaha the other week with that insulation, and that was either 288 or 278 a mile. So I don't know how I'm getting lucky. People always talk crap on Florida's rates, maybe for the dry van market, but I just so happen either I'm getting really lucky, and I talked to another driver, he was like, yeah, you're getting lucky. But so anyway, that was $2,600 on 930 miles, looking at 280 a mile. That took me to Grand Prairie. I then hop over to Scottsville where I loaded these bigger reels. Well, happy Friday, motherfuckers. We are, I think it's pronounced Persimmon Group. Getting loaded up with some reels that we're taking out to Reno, Nevada. Actually, Fernley. It's a beautiful morning, Sunday morning here in Kingman, Arizona. Got in here last night, hella parking. So we pulled right into a spot and freaking walked the dog and passed out. We're still on this load of reels from Scottsville, Texas, taking these up to Fernley, some project they're doing out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not sure exactly what the project is, but I contacted the guy. He said, call me Tuesday morning before you deliver. As far as securement goes, we'll set our coffee there. We have 3/8 chains going up and through the eye hole. And those are secured with 3/8 1/2 binders, which I think these have like a 9,200 pound working load limit. But the chain, if I remember correctly, is like 6,600 for 3/8 chain. Now the rub rails, some trailers will have a plaque that says the spools and the stake pockets. But in the FMCSA guidelines, I was looking, and they actually reverted to, if you don't have a plaque, it just still goes to the weakest link of the securement, which is the chain. So that defaults the spool to 6,600. So we have 6,600, 6,600. That's 12,000. That's 13,200 pounds of working load limit, which is enough to cover this all by itself. The reels, individual reels, they're like 11,000, 12,000 pounds, somewhere in there. So they're not super heavy. Paperwork says 33,000 and some change. So maybe they're closer to 11,000 each. But they do feel pretty heavy. I can feel them when I hit a hill. They did want 3 pieces of securement, so we did throw a strap through the middle. I'm not a fan of the strap through the middle. I originally went through the V up top so it wouldn't go across the chains. Because no matter what securement it is, I'm gonna pull it pretty tight unless the product doesn't allow it. Now I actually have some new chains I ordered, but you guys see that rip in the strap right there? I think I just said I have some new chains. I have some new straps at home that I just ordered. I don't have new chains. Anyway, you see that rip? That puts this out of service. This, it doesn't give it working load limit. But luckily we have the 2 that cover this 100%, and you only need to cover it 50%. So those 2 are legal for length of the item, for weight. It was just the customer's not recommendation, but their desire that they wanted a strap through the middle. So I don't like throwing that strap through the middle, and I threw it through the V's like I mentioned, but the guy they take pictures of them, to like with the serial numbers, and he was like, hey, you need to throw those through the eye hole, because see, that one's wanting to rip also. And he's like, you got to throw those through the eye hole. They'll stop you at the gate and won't let you go. They don't like it through. I was like, that's freaking retarded. But anyway, also it's 2025. We're bringing the word retard back. So yeah, it is what it is. I've got new straps at home, so I'm gonna bust those out. But time to walk the dog, literally. And then we're gonna get on down the road and kick the cat and walk the dog up to Reno today. We got the extraterrestrial highway. Hi, beautiful. Are you ready for your morning walk? So yeah, I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but if the strap securement would be placed out of service by DOT officers due to a abrasion, a cut, over a 1/2 inch, a splice, anything like that rip on the piece of chain that it's pulled through, you get 0 working load limit for it. But that doesn't mean you can't use it. And now you, me, the man above, and the DOT officer all know that even though that strap has a rip or a cut, it's still gonna be effective in securing. Just legally, per that FMCSA guidelines, they can't give you any working load limit, which is fine when you have those 2 chains. 2 chains, but I got me a few on. Anyway, it's still, you get 0 working load limit for out of service strap, but we all know it's still gonna do something. So, yeah, when you're already covered, like sometimes, if you're kind of running low on straps, but you have a few that are out of service, you still throw them. Just make sure you're covered beforehand. See, Kona agrees. Just make sure you're covered beforehand. Hey, get off my back. Get off my... Yeah. Yeah. Aww. But she just got her walk. I don't give a she's all up in arms about. But anyway, We're gonna head up to Reno. It's all the way to Nevada. We're not stopping to gamble. She's got a lot to say this morning. Stopped at this Love's here in Tonopah and topped off my little tanks. Just a shot of the truck and the Love's. Last time I was here, there was a bee hauler that dropped a stack of his bees, and it made an absolute mess of the place. Bees were flying everywhere, but anyway, let's get to some head cam footage as we roll over just south of the Hoover Dam here. So this is a leaky pass-through seal. You can see it's all oily, and oil's been blowing back and getting everything wet. Whoop! To replace it, it's one of these. Okay, it's only like $4 from Freightliner. You're gonna need a crow's foot. Super easy to get around that tube. That's a 19, so that gets that loose. $10mm socket for the bolts on the sides, okay, for the little ones, and then 19 for this. And you just get all those loose. Pull the bolts out first, the little bolts out first. Pull the tube, the injector tube, second, and then pull that pass-through seal last. Once again, this is the pass-through seal. You know, that's a better view of one. And once you pull it, you just replace the new one, put the tube through, and make sure you feel the pressure of the thing on the other side. I'll show it to you once it's out. Okay, this is that tube that went in there. So when you push it in, you'll feel the tip. There's the tip kind of connecting to its little deal. And then I don't think you'll be able to see, but in there's threads. And it screws around, I believe, the injector nozzle. Yeah, when you push that back in with the new one, you're gonna feel that. So just be sure you put it on properly. All right, we cleaned it up, and here's what we're looking at. So there's the pass-through seal and the injector tube all done. Remember, that's a 10mm bolt on the outside. Do not over tighten those. I think they go to 14 foot-pounds of torque. You have 19 in the middle and 19 on that bolt as well on the fuel rail. Tighten those pretty snug. You're gonna need a crow's foot to get into that. You can do that with a regular 19 wrench at an angle, but if you ever do number 6 back there, you're not gonna be able to get it with just a wrench. You will need that that crow's foot tool to get those. So anyway, that's what it is, all done. I forget what else I wanted to say here because I didn't talk in the video. It was windy, but I hope that helps. All right, Tuesday morning, let's roll out to this delivery. We got a dirt road and Kona on security patrol and following another guy that was delivering with us and lead escort car in front of him. right, how stinking cute is this? Look, she is standing up on my dash and resting her head on the dash looking at me. Oh my God, I love that freaking dog. All right, guys, so that big load of the big reels, the 3 reels, those weighed about 11,000 pounds each. That went from Scottsville, Texas to Fernley, Nevada. That's 1,760 miles. On the ground is what we did, 1,760. So that works out going through Dallas, Amarillo, up to 287 through Amarillo, I-40 to Kingman up through Vegas on the 93, and then I believe it's the 95 that runs up to Fernley. 1,760 miles on $4,300. That works out to $245 a mile. Pretty good in my opinion for, you know, the market right now, flatbed. And then same with the 280 a mile out of Florida. That's nuts. But that was only a 930 mile run. So, you know, gross week we made 6,900, and I call that a pretty good week for recovering. Recovering by not being able to load Monday or Tuesday in Florida because I bumped off way down south in Naples, and I could have reloaded in Florida. There were plenty of loads I was looking at. I could have reloaded if I did not have to deal with the pinion seal on the truck and the tires on the trailer. So in my opinion, 6,900 for a recovered week is pretty good. That missed out on 2 days. I didn't deliver till Tuesday in Fernley, which kind of sucks. I was there Monday. I was there Sunday night. And yeah, I was there Sunday night, so I could have delivered Monday, but it was a job site. So union jobs, you know, they are very strict about, hey, show up Tuesday, you show up Tuesday. Nobody's probably there Monday. So anyway, good recovered week. My normal weeks fall between 8 and 9 grand, more on the high side if I'm out east. So I'm not unhappy with that 6,900 gross week for missing out on 2 days and then not even being able to deliver till Tuesday. I shot myself in the foot a little bit, and I knew it going out to Fernley because it's not a great freight market, but I knew, in my opinion, I had to recover my week from being down in Florida, and I also had to help family out and get back to the west. So that was why I shot out to Fernley. I then grabbed something out of California and took it back to Colorado. So next week was an entire scratch. I mean, just dog crap for rate because I had to go out and help family. It was pretty much just take whatever I could to get back to Colorado. So anyway, thanks for watching. Comparison is the thief of happiness. So don't compare your numbers to others. If it works for you, it works for you. Not every shoe fits every person. You know, if it's your cup of Kool-Aid, drink it. So stay loaded.